Hey everybody, it's Scott from ScottyTheNJMedium.com. We are just getting over a rainy, blustery, no good, drizzly day, and it has kicked off the fall. Guess what? Summer's gone. It is time for Halloween season. And yep, that means I'm super busy, as I am sure most of you are. What kinds of cool Halloween traditions do you folks have out there? Basically, we have kids, so our Halloween tradition is trying to figure out what the kids want to be this year, finding a costume that fits, and then hoping that they still want to be that in 30 days from the day that we picked out the costume. I think that's probably a struggle everybody had. As a kid, I don't really remember ever wanting to be anything besides a Ghostbuster, so my parents didn't really have to struggle. I'm still a Ghostbuster today on Halloween, and I guess 364 other days of the year, because that's kind of what I'm into, I guess. Anyways, nice to see you back again, or have you back listening, since I can't see you and you can't see me, because this is a podcast, episode number 9. And today I'm going to catch you up. I've been gone for a minute because I've been busy. If I haven't mentioned, I've been busy. Also, if you're trying to book an appointment with me on Facebook, I am so sorry. We are backed up beyond backed up. Please just put a message in, but no, it's going to be a little while before we get to it. If you see that it got read, just know that we read it and it got put into the follow-up section, and we will follow up with you. This is hard to do because obviously, like I said, I'm busy. I have the full-time job, my family, and doing the mediumship and all the other cool stuff that comes along with it. So thank you for your patience. Without you guys, none of this stuff would be happening, and I would just be talking to myself into a microphone and then listening back to it, and I'd be a listener of one, and that'd be it. So anyways, thanks very much, and please be patient with me. I didn't expect to have this much cool stuff happening when I started doing this, so please, again, be patient, and I will get to you, I promise. So let's talk about the cool things that I did do. The first cool thing that comes to mind is the New Jersey Paranormal Psychic Fair. Did you go? Did you see me? Did we have fun? For the folks that I did do readings for, thanks for coming. If you're listening, I appreciate it. I remember each and every one of you, and it was really special. For the NJ Paranormal crew that put it on, Chris and John, thanks very much. It was really awesome. I had a great time. I can't wait to do another one. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope that I get to do some other events with you guys going forward. What's to come? Well, I had the Shanley Hotel to come, which is really awesome. That's coming up very soon with Mike and Brian. I'm going back. I hope that I get some more disembodied voices. I hope that I get some more awesome personal evidence captured, just like last time on my vlog. Scott, you have a vlog? I do have a vlog. Thanks for asking. Check it out. It's underneath the playlist Scotty Vlogs. You can check out that episode in particular. It's the very haunted Shanley Hotel. And I don't use the term very haunted lightly. If I say it, I means it. It's true. It's haunted. There are things happening in there that I can't explain, including people whispering in my ear that weren't there. So if you haven't checked that out yet, go check it out. It was really super cool. So anyways, we have that. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope that you're coming. If you're not, that's okay, because I'm sure we're going to do some more stuff just like that in the future. So let's see. What else do we got going on? I wanted to talk a little bit about spirits versus ghosts. And then at the end, we're going to talk a little bit about your own mediumship or your own psychic abilities, just like I was talking about in the last episode. So if you didn't listen to the last episode, stop now, head back to the last episode, listen to it, and then meet us at the end of this episode if you're into getting your own psychic or mediumship abilities going, or learning more about what that entails. It's all free, so you might as well do it. I mean, what else you doing, right? Okay, so let's talk about spirits versus ghosts, but I'm actually going to talk about the ghost part first. This is a question I get asked a lot, and I just like to address it on the podcast. It's fun. So ghosts are what I would consider human souls to be very close, or that are very close to the earthly plane that we still exist on. It's really an interesting phenomenon. So we talk about ghosts, apparitions, shadow people, all of the above. They're things that are almost tangible, and they can still interact with us on some level. Even if you're not psychic or a medium or an empath or have any of these other gifts, that's where we kind of get this notion of hauntings from. So a lot of times when we go to a place and people are like, this place is haunted. Yeah, it might have some paranormal activity. There might be a ghost roaming around. And of course, we have cool equipment that people develop all the time in order to help us interact with those alleged ghosts that are there. And we also, I'm sure if you're a big fan of the ghost hunters and all that stuff, the stone tape theory where ghosts are just energy trapped in a loop, replaying events over and over again. However, I find a lot of times I don't see too much of that as far as psychic stuff or medium stuff goes. I can see things that are past that, as far as like things that have been there, imprints. So maybe that's a part of the stone tape. But I'm talking more about actual intelligent ghosts, things that are still there and interacting, souls that are still there interacting with us. Now, I don't know how they interact so well with us when they want to, and then other times they don't. Don't have an answer for that. But ghosts are interesting because they are, again, so close to us. I feel like sometimes you could just reach out and touch them. And maybe that's what the cold spots are. But what's interesting is I do this. I find a lot of times that I encounter more pockets of hot air or like air that makes your arm hair stand up and gives you goosebumps. It's kind of for me, a very strange phenomenon that it's more hot than cold. I'm not sure what that's about, but everybody has a different point of view and perspective on that, of course. So anyway, when we think about ghosts, and especially coming into the Halloween season, right on through the end of January, I find that there's usually a spike in kind of paranormal activity where ghosts can interact with us, and they do more. And maybe that's because the veil is thinner, because we're all thinking about them, but who knows? And a lot of times those things that they do to interact with us are scary. They move things on us, they touch us, push, whisper, shout sometimes. In some cases, I've been to hauntings where the ghosts shout at people, and it's very unnerving, especially if you're not expecting it. So with that kind of idea in your head, have you ever had an experience with a ghost? Let me know in the comments below and tell me about it. And then maybe we'll have you on and you could tell me about your experience over the phone, and we'll record it and put it on the podcast. That'd be a lot of fun. Okay, so spirit. Spirit is more like our soul when it has crossed over the plane and it goes wherever it's going to go. And then occasionally we come back and we have interactions with the living. So as a medium, I find it very easy to interact with ghosts all day. They're like right in your face if you want them to be. And you can really tune into them very quickly. However, spirit always takes a little bit more energy to connect with because they're coming from far away. It's like really having to go the extra mile in order to tune into them. So they've crossed over the plane, but they're also very good at doing interesting things to interact with us. And I always try to tell people during readings, like, spirits, I think, more than ghosts, are better at controlling electronic devices. Maybe it has something to do with a higher vibration, and they're not so much trying to physically manipulate things as they are with their energy. So that's an interesting thing that I think about a lot. So they mess with radios and televisions more often than not. And I also believe that they can tap into an individual much easier than a ghost can. A ghost, again, is trying to be very physical, where a spirit is much more, to say, spiritual. They're getting into your heart and your mind rather than just, physically touching you or manipulating things around you to frighten you and get your attention. So a spirit, let's say if you are in your own home, and all of a sudden you're thinking about Aunt Sally and you haven't thought about her in a while. And then bang, there she is. And you're thinking about her and you have a good laugh to yourself. Like, boy, she was always fun at a party. Well, that was her way of like taking an opportunity to stop in and say hello to you. And that is what spirits do typically very often. Or you might get a warm, fuzzy feeling that comes over you and you think of your mom or somebody else who passed. And that's how a spirit interacts with you. And oftentimes they'll put things in front of us. Now, I can't explain it, but somehow they're very good at manipulating change. And also, you know, animals, they put things in front of us so that we can think of them. So if something like, I'm going to take something out of left field here. Let's do it. If an iguana were to cross your path and it made you think of your best friend Charlie who passed away, and you're like, man, where'd that iguana come from? Or like you see a picture of an iguana, or it's on TV, or you're in the pet store and you see it, and for some reason you were in the pet store for something else and you see this animal and it just kind of sparks that memory of that person. That is a really great way to know that they've kind of put you in position to remember them. So that's really something that's a lot of fun to like think about. And I think that it should bring a lot of you comfort as you're listening to this. It's really important for me to just keep telling you that kind of stuff, because I want everybody to have that comfort that it doesn't take someone like me all the time to be able to connect you to your loved ones. You have a direct line to them. You have their telephone number, so to speak. So that's spirit. That's how they operate. Okay. So if you have questions about that, please leave a comment down below, or if you have your own thoughts, also leave it down below. Let me know what you think, and what do you think of my theory? It's just a theory. It's, there's no absolute truths in what we're doing here. We're still very much learning what mediums and psychics and everybody else can do, and how we interact with the world beyond us as we get this, maybe hopefully up to 100 years here on Earth. Always trying to figure it all out, and I don't think we ever will have it all figured out, and that's part of the beauty of it. But it is fun tapping into it and trying to understand. All right, let's take a little commercial break and say thanks to my Facebook page. That's kind of self-serving, right? But I want to say thanks to my Facebook page for sponsoring all of what we're doing right now. It's October. I'm giving away lots of cool stuff. We already had one winner. I'm going to be picking out another winner for something else come Sunday. And then I'm going to keep picking out winners for different contests all through the month of October, probably right into November. Because we really like having a lot of fun here, and I really like doing giveaways. It's a great way for people to interact and see who I am and all that kind of stuff, and all the fun things that we do here. So thanks for that. And if you've been listening to the podcast and this is your 9th episode and you're listening, you are a winner. Thanks very much for listening. I appreciate it. Make sure to let me know what you think or what you want me to do on the podcast from here on out. Are there other things that I can do to improve it? And I'm sure that there are. Just let me know what your 2 cents are, and I will definitely take it into consideration. All right, that's the end of that. Let's go to the next thing. Ghost Hunters. They didn't have any new episodes on. It's been the access granted, which is the repeat of the other episodes with added footage. Pretty neat. I'm cool with seeing extra stuff. It's a lot of fun, but nothing new to report. Psychic Kids has been going on. Nothing too exciting to report. It's a pretty good show. If you haven't checked it out, it's on A&E, Psychic Kids, and the reboot of Ghost Hunters with Grant Wilson. Been very good so far, so check that out. And of course, we have Ghost Nation coming up very soon. I believe it's October 11th, and that's going to be on the Travel Channel with our buddies Dave Tango, Steve Gonzalez, and Jay Hawes from the original TAPS team. So that should be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. And we had a new show premiere last night, but I haven't watched it yet. I will report back on what it is. It looked like a lot of fun. They have a female medium on the team. She's been on some investigations before on TV. She's really cool. I know her first name is Cindy. I will leave a link to her Instagram because she is always touring and doing something and readings here and there and everywhere. As a matter of fact, I think sometime next month that she's going to be back here in New Jersey. So if you need to go see a medium and get a gallery reading or get in on some of that, you can go check that out. That'll be a lot of fun. Anyways, and I'll talk about her TV show that she's on in depth when I do a little research and understand what it is and what they're doing there. Let's talk about your own psychic gifts or your own mediumship gifts or your own empathic gifts. Last episode, I gave some pointers on how to know what your strengths were as far as having these types of abilities. And today I'm just going to cover clairvoyance a little bit because it's one of my favorites. It's the first thing that I noticed that I had above all was I was very good at picturing things in my mind. And then as I started going forward, that actually started to get a little bit weaker. My clairaudience picked up, which is the ability to hear things. They're both very strong, but every once in a while, a spirit will pick one or the other and really run with it, and that's how I convey messages. Now, if you're asking me what like clairvoyance is or what I'm talking about is seeing things in my head, it's basically like this. If you could close your eyes and picture, like if you're sitting at your desk or wherever you're listening to this. So if you're sitting at your desk or wherever you're listening to this, and you could close your eyes and picture, I don't know, let's pick something fun. A bright pink flower with a yellow center, and it's got a green stem, and it's along low-cut grass. So if you can picture that pretty well, you probably have the ability to be clairvoyant. Now, there's a little bit of a learning curve when it comes to this, because I gave you a picture to picture. But when it comes to clairvoyance or psychic abilities, you kind of have to have a blank slate. So when you close your eyes, you see nothing but darkness. Well, one of the things that I did to learn how to practice is, and if you've ever had a reading by me or listened to anything I ever say, I really enjoy going to the movies or watching television. It's just how I decompress and relax. So putting a big silver screen in front of my face as I close my eyes is very easy for me. So that's how I started. And it's how I do all of my readings. I close my eyes and I see my movie screen up in front of me and it's blank. And then I kind of mentally tell the spirit, like, okay, if you're going to communicate with me this way, start the projector, get the reels going, and show me whatever it is that you want to show me. Make sure you focus it for me. Make sure that it's clear and everything is the way you want it, so that way I can describe it or draw it and put it out in front of your loved one that I'm sitting with here in the living in order to get your message across about what it is you're showing me. So one of the things that I will tell you that I think is really important, that if you want to get into this sort of thing and strengthen your own ability, especially clairvoyance, is closing your eyes, imagining something. Very basic objects are probably the best. One of my tips for strengthening your own abilities, especially in the clairvoyance department, which is what we're talking about right now, is to go ahead and close your eyes. Imagine a very basic object. Think about all of the different details, and you could use that flower I used earlier as an example, and then draw it. If you have a box of 24 crayons, color it in. And then from there, practice with friends. This is where it becomes really important, the validation part. If you think that you have this ability, you need to sit with people that you trust and will understand that you're just learning and how to encourage you to do better and get sharper and have better vision, psychically speaking. So sit with a friend, ask for a photograph of a past loved one, and then close your eyes and see what things you see. No matter how ridiculous it is what you were looking at or what quote unquote memory or film you're looking at, do not hesitate to write whatever it is down and then show it to the person that you are writing this down for and ask them what they make of it. And then you might surprise yourself with how accurate you are about the things that you're talking about that have to do with the person in the photograph. And that's pretty much it. If you have, I don't want to cut it off short, but I don't want to make it too crazy for you so you don't want to try it. But that's basically it. It's all I do. I close my eyes, I connect with the spirit on the other side, and I say, just show me things that will validate who you are or who you were as a person in life. Then they will show me pictures, photographs, movies, or small memory clips, and I'll write these things down and talk about them, and then I'll present it to the client. And I've had everything, of course, from silly, easy things like them showing me a baseball game with the New York Yankees playing, to a prosthetic leg one time to validate who they were, to, of course, like what they did for a living. Other people as firemen or police officers, military, businessmen, insurance salesmen, and they show me all these things. And a lot of times I don't understand what I'm looking at. So I will write it down to the best of my ability of what I'm seeing. And then I put it out in front of the person and they say, holy cow, that's my Uncle Edgar. That's 100% what he would talk about. And then from there, we go on. So you have to build your confidence up. That's first and foremost. So get to doing that. Build your confidence. So we talked about clairvoyance today. I'll talk about it again on the next one, and I'll build on it with probably some clairaudience, which is the hearing of things, okay? And then we'll build on it because we want to make this comfortable, easy, and fun. If you have questions about the clairvoyance or anything that I'm talking about, please leave a comment below. Let me know what you want me to talk about. If you want to hear more about ghost stuff, let me know. If you want to know about more spirit stuff, let me know. If you want to hear about tarot cards, let me know. Crystals, let me know. Oils, let me know. Basically, I think you're getting the idea here. Just let me know. Don't forget also, check me out on Instagram, on Facebook, definitely Twitter, if you can find it. I don't even know what my Twitter handle is. I'm so bad. Maybe I'll leave a link for it down in the description so you guys can check it out. And it's all different ways for you folks to get to know me and interact with me. I'm always on there, and yes, it's always me answering. So I'm fully involved in everything that I do. So it's really important that you guys know that and know that I'm behind the keyboard or behind the phone doing my thing. All right, stay tuned, like I said, to my Facebook page. Make sure you're liking the contest and following the rules and get yourself entered for some cool stuff. It's all free anyway, right? Anyways, that's it for now. I'm going to have another podcast happening on Saturday from the Shanley. I'm going to do some live stuff there. So if you're listening to this right now, make sure that October 5th, you're watching my Facebook page because we're going to be doing some cool stuff. I'm going to be posting things, all kinds of cool stuff. We're going to have a blast. Even if you're not physically there, you're still going to be involved. All right, guys, I got to go. I got other things I got to do today. It was nice hanging out with you for the last 20 minutes. Please make sure that if you like this video, that you hit the like button. Make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss anything. And if you're real cool and you like me, maybe you'll click the share button and throw this up on your Facebook page or somewhere that you share stuff. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Pleasure hanging out with you. I'll talk to you next time for the big number 10 episode from the Shanley. See you later. Bye.